I used to be so shy and stuck in my head that I literally couldn't talk to girls without shaking. And in this video, I'm going to show you the entire process that I took to go from shaking and sweating when I wanted to talk to a girl that I liked in class or a girl I saw at the mall, to being able to confidently approach any woman that I see on the street and actually looking at attractive women as this is an opportunity for me to meet a girl that I could actually have a really good time with. And this shift took a long time. And the purpose of this video is to save you years of your life so you're not struggling like I did for years, not knowing what you're doing wrong, feeling confused, feeling like your results are coming from, being balding to not being attractive enough, not being in good enough shape. I'm going to talk through all these things in this video, and you're going to want to stay till the end because I haven't really seen anybody go into this much detail on how to make a real transformation from an overthinker to somebody who is actually socially confident and gets described as socially confident and fearless by everybody that I meet. I'm not some guy that was just always good with girls. I would play video games all day. I grew up super shy. My dad would try to introduce me to his friends and I would embarrass him by, not saying hi, not opening my mouth, getting stuck in my head. And it was really embarrassing for me. And if you're watching this and you resonate with that type of upbringing, always being the shy kid, then you'll know what I'm talking about. I was the fat kid. I was chubby. I wasn't in good shape. I got cut from the basketball team when I was 16, even though I was tall, because I was so out of shape. And there are a lot of life lessons that got me to the point where I'm at now, where I coach hundreds of men on how to build more social confidence and how to be a more confident person. So if you're feeling stuck right now in your dating life, just know that this advice I'm about to give you is coming from someone that has experienced exactly what you're experiencing right now. So when I was 18, like I said, I couldn't talk to girls without shaking, and I knew that I wanted to be better with girls. I knew that a relationship or being better with women would not only help me with talking to women and getting dates and having fun, getting a girlfriend, but also making friends with people. I knew that I wasn't as open as I wanted to be, and I thought that it just wasn't in the cards for me. I thought it just wouldn't work because I wasn't good looking enough, or I didn't have that it factor that you see all these guys that are really good with girls. They just kind of seem to have it figured out, and I didn't feel like I had that. But one day I found some pickup videos of like some pickup artist guys that were like 23, 24 that were going to college campuses. They were getting phone numbers. They were like 5'7", 5'8", just normal looking guys, not super rich. And they were getting results in very ridiculous ways, like doing prank style videos, dressing up as Batman, getting a girl's number. And I was like, okay, if these guys are doing it, then I can do it too. And this kind of opened the floodgates for me because I realized maybe this is something I actually have control over. Because up until this point, I felt like, and maybe you can resonate with this while you're watching this, I felt like all the guys that were good with girls, like I had a friend in high school that was good with girls, they're just charming. They're charming, they're good looking, they know what they know what to say. They always seem to do things right. They're just more gifted in other things. I just felt like that couldn't be me. But when I saw these kind of normal looking dudes getting results, I realized that this is a decision that I have to make to change this part of my life. And so that's exactly what I did. The first lesson I learned along this journey was that you can get better at anything, whether it's talking to women, getting better at video games. And the first exposure I had to that was actually World of Warcraft, where I was really bad at World of Warcraft. I started watching some guides and I literally saw the numbers on my screen go up because I started pushing different buttons. And I realized that you could do this in person. And so I went out to the mall, I started talking to girls, started talking to everybody, saying hello to as many people as I could. And by this, I really mean I was saying hi to 10% of people, like the least scary people possible. By the time I finally worked up the courage after a couple weeks to approach a girl that I thought was attractive, I didn't get anything from it. I didn't get a phone number, but she actually had a positive reaction. She was like, "Oh, thank you so much. You should keep doing this." I think she could tell I was a little bit nervous. But that was the first lesson I learned, is that most women will react positively to you approaching. And that is very important to understand. If you go in with the intention, I want to do this to push my own comfort zone, then most women will have a positive reaction to this. And if they don't, then you can move on to the next one. It's actually pretty good for you to deal with that rejection and deal with the negative reaction or neutral response, because at the end of the day, it does not need to affect you. And at the time I took rejection really hard, but I'm really glad that I took those rejections because it got me better at realizing I'm not fucking perfect. Not everyone has to accept me for exactly how I am. Some people will, and that's all I needed to know. After I realized that this is something I can actually get better at, I started to look at things more in terms of actions instead of who I am as a person. who I am as a person has almost nothing to do with how attractive I am to women. Sure, there's some things like if you have resources or you have a cool lifestyle that can help, but it really comes down to the process of how you talk about what you have going on in your life and how you carry yourself. And so when I started thinking about things in terms of process first, what I started to do was change how I made eye contact and change the questions I was asking, change the things I would say in interactions, change how I would carry myself and my tonality when I would open a girl on the street or in the mall. And I started to notice pretty big results and pretty big differences. And when I took this accountability towards my actions are why I'm not getting girls. When I get in front of an attractive woman and I act a certain way, this is why she's not attracted. It's not because I'm not jacked enough. It's not because I don't have money, because I was super broke. I was just a college student. It's not because I don't have anything going for me in life. I actually had a lot going for me. I was good at almost everything that I did because I put a lot of effort into like being good at video games, being good at sports. I really tried to be good at everything except talking to women. And I didn't really know why I was doing that. And it was because ultimately I didn't believe that it was a process. Once I saw it as a process, there was a full commitment to getting better at this. And so if you're still watching at this point, you need to make a commitment, if you're feeling stuck, to changing your process. If you don't have a change in process, nothing will change for you. I promise you. Because if you can get better at sports, if you can get better at work, if you can get better at learning a language, you can get better at talking to women. And whether you know it or not, you have a process. This is something a lot of guys don't understand. If you see a girl and you don't talk to her, that's your process. Your process is you stay inside, you play video games, you hide in your hobbies, you hide in TV shows, you hide in YouTube videos, you scroll YouTube shorts or Instagram reels, and you just sit there and you do nothing. You don't change anything. That's your process for talking to women. That's your process for your dating life. And obviously, when I put it like that, it's pretty clear why it's not working, but you need to start looking at things in terms of process. So instead of staying inside, you need to go outside. Instead of being quiet when you walk past people, you need to say hi more often than not. You need to greet them. You need to be more outgoing. And that change in process will change the results that you actually get. The next thing that I had to learn was what confidence actually means. I always thought that confidence meant that, oh, I trust my process so much. I know that this works. I know that I'm going to get results from this. I know that I'm going to say the exact right words for this girl and she's going to be attracted to me. That's not real confidence. What real confidence is having the ability to know that if this girl rejects me, I'm going to be okay. If this girl wants to sleep with me, I'm going to be okay. Nothing will change in my life that will actually ruin my life. Nothing about approaching a girl will actually ruin my life. Even if she's like, oh, this guy's fucking weird, and she texts her friends and is like, oh, this guy's a fucking creep. That still doesn't change your life. I had a girl when I was in high school, like making approaches, text me like, hey, you've approached like 3 of my friends. Stop. I don't give a fuck. Like, okay. And then I just kept approaching because it didn't actually change my life. For a second, I was like, oh, am I doing something bad? But then I realized like, no, I'm just like making approaches. I'm like trying to get better at socializing. I'm not going to change that for somebody else's opinion or the opinion of 5, 6, 7 people. Who gives a fuck? I really didn't. And the whole thing is that you don't actually care about other people's opinions either. You just care that there's going to be consequences. But I'm here to tell you, there are no consequences for other people's opinions. It's just a little bit of hate. And that's fine. As somebody that has like over 1 million followers on all platforms, I'm somebody that like, I get a lot of hate. And that's okay. Like, I'm fine. I'm still alive. I'm chilling. I'm fucking making videos for you guys in my car. I'm fucking vibing. There's nothing about my life that sucks. And anything that I think does suck, it's just something I like created for myself and I can just change it. At the end of the day, confidence comes down to knowing that you're going to be okay even if things don't go your way. After about 6 months of approaching consistently and putting in changes to my process, opening girls with confidence, with a smile on my face, making eye contact, getting some dates, I started to finally identify as a guy that is confident or a guy that is socially fearless. I made this change to where I didn't view myself as a shy person anymore. And your identity only shifts when you change your actions and you have a process that you stick to for some consistent amount of time. You can't say that you're a guy that goes to the gym if you don't go to the gym at least 3 or 4 times a week. You can't really say that. Or at least until you do it consistently. If you're constantly taking breaks, if you're constantly, in and out, you can't really say, oh, I'm the type of guy that approaches girls. You have to be able to do this and stick with this consistently as a big focus in your life if you really want to change, and you need to commit to this process and do it consistently so you can have this identity shift. I'm telling you, the moment that you shift your identity from, oh, I'm shy, I'm introverted, I'm not the type of guy that talks to girls, to I am a guy that talks to girls, I am very confident, I feel good about myself. As soon as you start shifting into that, you're not chasing girls anymore. You're talking to women, you're approaching them, but then they're chasing you because you have that identity of a guy that's confident. You'll even see girls start saying things like, oh, I bet you talk to a lot of girls, even if you don't have a ton of experience yet. I noticed that this happened a lot. I would talk to a girl at a bar and she'd be like, oh, you must get a lot of girls. Like, I really don't. I actually didn't. I didn't know how to handle that because I had never had people say that that was something that happened for me, because I never identified as a guy that was good with women. And I really struggled to get to a point where I was able to identify like that. And the only reason I was able to identify like it was because I committed to a specific process and I stuck to it for a long period of time. I made it a focus for myself. I kind of made this video as if I was talking to my past self, because what my past self that was shy and overthinking and not able to talk to women in any really coherent way at all without shitting his pants was, he needed to understand that has nothing to do with you as a person, man. You don't need to change a ton about who you are as a person, but you do need to change your fucking behaviors. If you don't like the results you're getting in your life right now, if you feel stuck, if you feel like things aren't going your way, and that I have to teach this to my coaching clients as well. If you don't like the results you're getting right now, the results you're getting right now are a product of your decisions over the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. So you need to change your process. You need to change how you think about your decisions. You need to change the decisions that you actually make. And that is ultimately what will lead to the best results in your dating life, but just also in general, your entire frame of how you view yourself. And if I could teach you anything, if I could give you anything to walk away from this with, is that it doesn't matter if you're 5'6", doesn't matter if you're broke, doesn't matter if you're kind of fat. The number one thing, if you are feeling stuck in your head around women, if you're feeling like you're getting left behind, if you feel lost, and so you need to change your process, and that's it. All right, if you want to apply to work with me personally, there's a link down in the description. You can apply to work with me personally. I take on coaching clients. I teach guys how to build up social confidence. I teach you guys how to actually implement the processes that I talk about in this video, fixing your tonality, fixing your subcommunication, fixing your body language. Apply down in the description. If not, all good. Let me know in the comments what you want to see from me in the future. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.